live and in humongous color. So let's make it bacon with Ace. Today, we're going to take two mega juggernauts and put them head to head in a competition of a lifetime. Does the RV look like it's ready for a competition of a lifetime? Probably not, but that's okay. You know why? Because it's not about the RV necessarily. It's about the Blue Yeti Teddies and the Toshiba inverter AC units. They are our that's our test unit right there. So, or our testing medium. But this is an AC200MAX charged to 100%. And it just happens that we are currently sitting at 96 degrees in here. Yes, head to head with the Bluetti AC200P charged to 100% with another Toshiba inverter, I believe 14,000 BTU AC unit. Oh yeah, head to head. I'm going to do a time trial and see which one lasts the longest. And we're going to make this happen. All right, let us begin. Just a confirmation that the AC200P is charged to 100%. Confirmation that the AC200MAX is charged to 100%. All right, both of the AC units are running. Both are down to 60 degrees, cool, and continuous high fan. AC200P, kicking trash, taking names. Inverter fans kicked on. Says we are currently pulling 1600, a little bit over 1600 watts. And AC200MAX, same thing. Pulling a little over 1600 watts, give or take. It's now doing its cycle. So that's what this thing does. Does its AC cycle. The compressor is a smart compressor, so it cycles up and down. And does its little dance. 1400, but 96. All right, we're at about an hour right now. AC200MAX, 35%. AC200P, 40%. However, from the looks of things and the feel of the room, just being 100% honest, feels cooler back here than it does up there. So I'm thinking that it's possible that, you saw, that the watts were higher pulling up front. But I mean, this thing, cycles. But yeah, so as I hit the button, 13, around 1300 or so, 12 to 13, 50, 14, all around there. So the front maybe worked a little bit harder, but percentage-wise, I guess you could say if this is running a little bit less, then yeah, it might account for that percentage difference. But yeah, about an hour in. All right, drastic change of events. Dun, dun, dun. Probably about an hour and 15 minutes in. So we're at 21%. The funny part is it's drawing, it appears to be less wattages from the AC200P as from the AC200MAX. But we're at 20%, and let me show you what the max is at. And here's the max, and I was totally wrong. The reason being is I wasn't actually looking at the screen. I was looking at the Bluetooth app that supposedly communicates, and it said it was around 30% still. It is not at 30%, it is at 12. But as you can see, it's definitely, at least it's saying it's pulling quite a bit more power from this than it is the AC200P. or AC200P. So I don't blame this for being at 12%. You know, whereas the others higher. Just considering that it really hasn't gone below 1,500 watts as an average, whereas the 200P in the back, the compressor seems to be cycling more often. And yeah, the other thing too to note, that is a very important note, is that where it's located. So right now the sun is on this side, so that means all the air that this unit is pulling in is much, much, much warmer than the one in the back. So not necessarily a head-to-head, you know, equal comparison. That is why there is more wattage coming out of this one, I do believe. It's because this one is having to do more work to fight the good fight against hot air coming in from that side, whereas the other side is currently shaded. So, you know, 1,500 compared to anywhere between 1,100 and 1,300. But just interesting, you know, overall that way. Tomorrow I will be trying another experiment. Just for kicks and giggles, I will plug in both units overnight to charge to full capacity once again, but I won't be running this one. I won't be running the Max tomorrow for the test. I will be running the 200P back there, and what I'll be doing is I'm going to take the air conditioner, I'm going to close the door, and I'll show you what I'm talking about so that it actually makes sense. Hold on. I know, seriously, the best video ever. So I'm going to close this college closet door to the room, and we'll hold it closed to block it off and see at just kind of auto levels to keep it around 70 degrees, and see how you know, how it does all day with that. No extra power coming in, just running off the battery, just cooling down this one room. Running it, you know, close to full boat. You know, your hour and 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and you're at 15%. Yeah, see, yeah, she's running a full boat now, like the one up front. So, but, you know, it's gotten it down to 74 degrees here in the back, so can't say that's too bad overall in the big scheme of things. But, you know, it was at 96 when I got in here. Hour and 15 minutes, running both units, able to get it down to 74. So I'm going to consider that a win. Are the batteries, you know, well, what do you do after the hour and 15 minutes? Well, you have solar. Or, you know, a generator. But I'm going to, you know, be doing it to where, you know, it may not be perfect system, but what will be going into these batteries in combination solar with a copious amount of solar panels is going to be around 1,300 watts on this one, 1,400 watts on the Max. So the amount of battery that is going to be drawn, you know, there'll be losses, of course, and things like that, but this is running full boat off the battery, no input whatsoever. If you've got 1,300 watts coming in, you know, to 1,400 watts coming into one of these guys, and then running this, and it's, you know, up there, boy, it spiked there, 1,650, then it's not going to drain the battery nearly as quick, and in theory, well, this isn't going to be running full boat all the time, and so it's just, you know, interesting experiment. And I could always, if worse comes to worse, well, I plug it directly into the generator and run the AC unit off of the generator, and then also maybe put a charger or two, probably one, to charge that back up. So it's a self-feeding system, but we'll see what transpires. This is one big experiment, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the beauty part of it. But yeah, so we'll keep following these, and I'll keep updating you to which one kicks the bucket first. But even unequal loads and stuff like that, it's around about the same. It's not too bad. All right, final stretch. Final stretch, 4%. 4%. Just winding down here. This is for the AC200MAX, as I said. This one is the one. This is in the hot zone. Danger zone, hot zone. It's bringing in the hot air. It's blowing out hot air as well, but it's fighting against the big fireball in the sky, so I can't blame it. But overall, definitely showing that the capacities are relatively close based on the conditions of what I'm putting them through. But overall, good, seem to be, good units. And from 96 down to, as soon as this shuts off, which is going to be, I'm thinking maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, I'll show you what it got the temperature down from 96 degrees to what it got it down to up front here. All right, so we are about 1 hour and 28 minutes in. The AC just shut off. We are at 0%. The game is over. 77 degrees. So from 96 to 77 in about an hour and a half. What does this mean? Well, this means that this unit could run, this AC unit, with either the Bluettis, running solar input of 12 to 1400 watts input. If you overpaneled it, should easily be able to keep the temperature down in your vehicle with no issue, because it's not going to be running at 1500 all the time. And the only reason that this was because it was taking it from 96 degrees down to 77. It wasn't a maintaining thing. It wasn't a slow thing. It was a, go red line all the way. So we got to 77 in an hour and a half with the Bluetti with its 100 to 0 capacity. I think that's very, very admirable, very good, and with proper inputs, with the DC enhancer and the regular solar inputs, I believe that this will absolutely be able to work with an overpaneled situation, easily be able to power this unit, to keep this cool. And in a few weeks here, it'll be a little bit cooler, so it'll be a little bit easier of a job for it. But once I get my panels in, get them fixed up, get them installed, and get them plugged in, and finish up this rig, it should be very good. I am very interested to see as well how this, because I bought this unit specifically because each of the units, it's got an inverter. It's not, it doesn't hard start. It's very, very good with this kind of technology. And I bought these specifically because it's got a dehumidification function, which will help in the winter time when running any kind of propane heating. But I'm interested also to see, these do have, built-in quote-unquote heat pumps. This is essentially a portable mini split, in theory. It's all theory. So we'll see whether that actually transpires or not. But we'll see, how the heat pump does, and go from there. I'm going to have, a unit on each side of the RV, so in the shade and not in the shade and that kind of thing at different times of day. And so we'll see how it works. But let's go back and see how the 200P is finishing off. And the AC200P just finished off at 1 hour and 36 minutes, going from 100% down to 0, and was able to cool the room all the way from 96 degrees down to 74 degrees. Beautiful. Beautiful. And the internal fan just shut off for the inverter. I felt on the side while, both of them were running, both the front and the back of the rig. And both of them, even with the fans running on the units themselves to cool the inverter, the air that was coming out of the inverter side of the box, not hot, very, very good. Very, very good. So definitely satisfied with the results, and we'll get this charged up tonight and see what it does tomorrow, in addition to doing some other work on the rig. So thanks so much once again for taking the time to watch and like and comment and subscribe and dislike or whatever. I mean, it's all good in the neighborhood. Very, very, very much appreciate it, and look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. Thanks so much. Talk to you tomorrow.